sir.
Good morning.
You have a lawyer today.
No, sir, I don't. I don't think I need one. Forgive me for saying that, but the original police report decriminates me. Can I read?
No.
Okay, it's fine.
You need a lawyer to represent you.
Sorry, can't afford one.
What do you do for in life, sir?
So to give you background who I am, you can Google my name, come Kids Harbor. That's an orphanage. I don't have anything. I don't have no one. So please, sir, I cannot afford a lawyer. You understand that? And I mean, I'm not trying to be rude, but working at Subway for 5 years, it does something to you.
Have a seat. Have a seat, sir.
Take it.
I'm getting sued over John Disso. Look at the paperwork, John Disso. I'm sorry. Oh, you tried to smile a little bit.
Oh.
I saw that.
I'm innocent. I am innocent. Read the original police report. I'm innocent.
Calm down.
Hey guys, I'm just chilling here with the fish tanks, and I was listening to Judge Fleischer's channel and came across this really interesting smug young man who almost talks his way into a bit of time at the state's pleasure. But check this guy out. Let me know what you think down below. Stay tuned till the end for a very interesting bonus clip.
Sir.
Good morning.
You have a lawyer
No,
today.
sir, I don't think I need one. Forgive me for saying that, but the original police report decriminates me. Can I read?
No.
Okay, it's fine.
You need a lawyer to represent you.
Sorry, can't afford one.
What do you do for in life, sir?
So to give you background who I am, you can Google my name, come Kids Harbor. That's an orphanage. I don't have anything. I don't have no one. So please, sir, I cannot afford a lawyer. You understand that?
I don't want to talk about the case. I just want to know, do you work? What do you do for a living?
I just got a job, okay, and I have an apprenticeship. I don't make that much money, okay? Can't afford a lawyer. That's all I'm saying.
What's your apprenticeship?
Upholstery.
Upholstery.
Yes, sir.
How much money do you make a month?
I just started, but it's probably around 1,200.
What were you doing before that?
Subway, 5 years. At Subway.
Okay. I guess you got fired from Subway? What happened?
No, I don't want to work past Subway 5 years, so what I look like. And I mean, I'm not trying to be rude, but working at Subway for 5 years, it does something to you. Okay, so I quit because I'm being honest, I quit Subway because it's 5 years of Subway. What am I going to do? You know?
I
Can't blame me for that.
I agree with you.
That was, but I mean, like, that's pretty much me right now. But if I can just explain, if you let me explain, can I explain the police report? Because it decriminates me, Sarah.
I'll give you a lawyer today.
Okay.
I'll have you speak to the lawyer. The lawyer can give your side to the DAs, and then they can try to work something out for you. Okay? So just hang tight. I do need you to fill out an application for me. I don't know if I have one. Let me just check it out.
Be the prosecution.
Sir.
You're not allowed to talk.
Okay. Because it literally decriminates me, sir. Okay.
Speak to the attorney when you get appointed.
So I need an application for you to fill out. Once you fill it out, I'll take a look at it. I'll grant it for you, and then I'll have you speak to a lawyer here momentarily. Okay?
Same day or do I have
Today?
to-
Yeah, today. It'll be a while because we have to find one, but just be patient. But I'll have you speak to someone today. Okay? Stephen, do you mind giving an application?
Now, as you saw there, he was sent off to sign his paperwork, which he did do, but then he decided to approach the judge, gave the judge a little bit of a fright, and got locked up.
If you want to stay on it, or if you want to.
Have a seat. Have a seat, sir.
Take it.
Can I get my truck? No. I can't. Are you joking? I'm getting sued over John Disso. Look at the paperwork, John Disso.
Do you mind staying on? I'm sorry, I had someone come up to me.
And then he was called back in again to see if he could behave himself. Have a wild guess in the comment section down below how that went.
I'll behave. I'm sorry. Oh, you tried to smile a little bit.
Oh.
I saw that.
You
know what I
say about composing
Okay, sorry. I'm just trying to be nice.
Right. But
Okay.
nice is with actions as well, right?
I will compose myself properly, sir. And I would like to apologize to everyone in the court. I'm sorry. I'm trying to.
Just
No.
Can I say so? I'm not trying to be out.
You know, first like this.
I'm innocent. I am innocent. Read the original police report. I am innocent.
calm down.
I am innocent. I will not comply with this. This is what I'm going to do.
If I may.
in there.
So yeah, that didn't go so well, did it? Now, the judge decided to give him one more bite at the apple, and it seems like he has calmed down a little bit, but there's still some interesting stuff to have a look at.
Hey,
How's it going?
Good.
I'll behave.
all we want you to do, Mr. Rabode, is give your side to Mr. Slider. Okay, he will help you work with this case so it can get the best result possible. Okay, understand that we don't appreciate when people come from over there all the way over here, because it's very possible that I didn't even see that you were here.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to sneak up on you. I'm
Right,
sorry.
the problem is that not everybody is as nice as you. What happens if someone comes and tries to attack me here? You know what I mean?
I'm sorry if that's ever happened.
So that's why it scares me.
Okay,
When you come up this way, I didn't even see you until Steven looks at me and starts darting this way. I didn't even see you, and it scared the crap out of me.
well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you, sir, okay?
It's okay. And look, I don't think you mean any ill will. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here, right? But
Oh, I debated not coming because this is scary. Like, it's scary being here. I don't like being here.
what I meant was, if I thought you meant ill will, I would already have you in jail.
Okay.
Right.
I appreciate you not locking me up. Thank you.
Of course not. I don't want to lock you up. I don't want to put you in jail. I don't want anything bad to happen to you. Just understand, we have a certain way that we handle things here, right?
May I say something?
I don't say anything.
Not about the case.
It's not about the case.
Okay.
I just want to say, and it's in the paperwork, I've already been in jail over this. I've been put in jail over the weekend. I have the paperwork from the first time I went to jail. And, you know, I'm kind of curious why I went to jail because I didn't do anything.
I'm going to let Mr. Slider explain that to you, okay? So just be wary that all I need you to do at this point is stay in contact with him. I'm going to waive the appearance for the next time. You don't have to come here. Okay? All I'm asking you to do is stay in contact with him. If he comes back to me though and tells me he can't get a hold of you, I will issue a warrant. And I'm going to tell you, I will not give you any more PR bonds. So all you have to do is stay in contact with him. And if you do, good things will happen for you. And one more thing, don't pick up any new cases.
I'll try not to. I won't.
I don't think you will, but just remember, not everybody's patient, okay? Anyways, all right. Okay,
Thank you, Judge.
all right, please. Mr. Road, best of luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
For sure. Victoria, do you have a reset ready for Mr. Vivode?
I'll gather all your stuff.
Well, there we have it, guys. Yeah, he was kind of an interesting character. This next lady is a particularly dangerous character, it seems. And she decides to have a bit of an argument with her lawyer.
It's a firearm. My client is claiming that it's a weapon, robbery with a weapon. So the difference is 30 or life, depending on what the actual charge is.
Right, so bottom line, I'm not gonna set you a bond now as it is, because I just don't know. I mean, if it's a crime that carries a term of life, I just can't give you one anyways, as even if I wanted to, I couldn't give you a bond. So at this point, why don't we just set it? She already has a waiver in place, right?
There's a waiver in place. The
So that
pickup
you're not
is
losing time.
pickup was scheduled for July 15th.
Right now, like you said, it's scheduled for July 15th. I would say at the minimum, keep your waiver for now, because if you pull this waiver off, you'll lose all the time that you've done in custody now. So in the interim, they can take a look to see whether it is or not. But regardless, I'm going to have a hard time giving you a bond as it is. You're a dangerous person. I know you say no, but paper says different. So even if it's not a deadly weapon, it's still a robbery case. A weapon was used and you're on. And what else did she have?
So she had a prior conviction. She was released from prison in 2020, but that was for an assault public servant. She had 4 years TDCJ.
At some point, you got to. Actions have consequences, Miss Fawcett. You cannot continue to pick up cases and something. So I guess let's just, you tell me guys what you want to do.
That has nothing to do with it. It doesn't matter. You have convictions. The judge explained that to you. I can't force the judge to give you a bond.
I'm not like
You're-
telling you
you-
to force him.
Well, you have a
to,
fugitive bond grant.
But you didn't even look into the paperwork or anything.
Because I was just
before you
appointed
got
today and I don't have access to Florida, ma'am. I will reset. Can we reset it to Friday, Ron?
Well, let's do Thursday or Monday, just
Thursday's
because,
the 4th, so we can't.
right?
Sounds like Wednesday or Monday.
And then,
I can get a copy of the offense report. Obviously, it's gonna take time because they're gonna have to make sure, I am who I say I am versus some rando asking, so it's gonna
you
be,
think Wednesday enough time?
that Wednesday will be enough.
Okay, let's set it for Wednesday.
The state could share her Florida record for me, because my client seems to think I can just produce Florida records, which I obviously can't to look at.
Yeah, I can
Get it
use
for
a
you.
copy, but yeah, I can write it down manually because I can't. Yeah, I can do that.
All right, good luck, Ms. Fawcett.
Thank you.
This guy is without a doubt one of the most arrogant customers that our dear Judge DeSanta has ever had. Yeah, I did say DeSanta. If you know the joke, you know the joke. And you won't believe the way this guy talks back to the judge. And knowing her, she's got a good quip for him. This guy literally argues like a 14-year-old boy who thinks he knows everything.
Please state your name, sir. Jordan, maybe.
Okay, thank you. Are you picking them up, Lynn?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, and so counsel, I'm just going to make this statement that I know that there are 3 defendants.
Correct.
Mr. Shumke is representing Mr. Mosier. You are representing Mr. Mead, and so we are going to have a 3rd attorney for Mr. Fritz. If Mr. Fritz is here on the day that both you and Mr. Shumke are here. So I just wanted to make that, but I just want to state that for the record.
May I ask, Your Honor, does the court know why Mr. Fritz's matter was adjourned from 10 o'clock this morning?
I don't know. I haven't looked into it. I just noticed when you asked if it was still on the docket, because the docket you had showed he was on the docket, and today's docket does not show that. I did not look into that any further. I did not. Perhaps he has retained counsel. I don't know.
That is an accurate statement, though, Your Honor. There are 3 co-defendants.
Okay. And so the court, counsel as to arraignment.
Your Honor, I advise my client of the nature of the charges against him, next penalty involved, he understands them as to both counts. This time we'll wait for a reading stand.
The court will waive the formal reading, enter a plea of not guilty for purposes of the arraignment, and counsel as to the pretrial.
Your Honor, I've had conversations with the prosecutor and with Mr. Shemke, who represents one of the co-defendants. I understand Mr. Shemke set his matter for a second pretrial for discovery purposes. Obviously, we may have common discovery, so my client's asking for a jury trial, but he believes, as well as I do, that a beneficial final pretrial date would be in order. I understand the May 31st. I'm going to be here. Mr. Shemke's going to be here with his client. If we could have that date as well, Your Honor.
Okay, and did you need a discovery order, counsel?
Yes, I probably should have one, Your Honor, because I don't know what Mr. Shemke's going to discover. I may need my own in the future. I don't know.
Okay, so I'll need a discovery order from Mr. Carmen so that I can sign that.
All right, I'll get it. Do you want to announce it, Your Honor, or do you want to, we'll get it now?
I'll do it afterwards. That way, we can continue with bond.
All right.
Okay. And we'll adjourn this matter for discovery purposes to May 31st. Did I do 9:30 or 10 o'clock? I don't remember what time I did. Do you have it written down? What time I did or no?
I'm here the whole day, Your Honor. It doesn't matter to me.
And counsel,
10 a.m.
I'm sorry?
May 31st, 10 a.m.
Yes, and counsel as to bond.
Your Honor, my client, has no other matters pending. He's not on probation or parole. Your Honor, he is not presently working due to a medical condition. He may be applying for Social Security disability, but at this time he's not working. So we've asked the court to consider a personal bond or a bond he can reasonably expect to post. He has no money today. Is that correct, sir? That's correct, sir.
All right, and sir, are you currently on probation or parole anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Ever failed to appear in court for any reason?
No, ma'am.
You're most recently on probation in this court, correct?
Yes, ma'am. That's the only time I've ever been on probation. He successfully completed that. Is that correct, sir? That is correct.
Yes, but not the first time that you've been charged with this type of offense. So if you were to test today, what would be detected in your system?
What would be detected in my system?
Yes,
I mean, like drugs,
anything,
Is that
drugs,
what you're asking?
alcohol, anything.
marijuana.
Do you have a valid prescription for marijuana?
No, I recreationally smoke.
Okay, moving forward, you cannot. Okay? When's the last time you used any marijuana, sir?
On the way here
On the way here,
this morning. Yeah,
in your vehicle?
no, at home. On the way out the drive, walking to it.
Are you under the influence of marijuana now,
I
sir?
am not under the influence.
You understand the proceedings in this court happening
Yes, I'm
today,
very
what we
aware.
talked
Hold
about?
on, only one can speak at a time, Mr. Meek. Okay, so please let your attorney finish asking the question before you answer.
Imagine ratting on yourself like that. Now, the argument as to whether or not he's under the influence becomes a big deal here in a minute.
Sure.
When we had conversation, were you able to understand all the advice of rights and things that we talked about?
Yes, sir.
I'll leave it to court's discretion. I
Sir,
think he's competent.
okay, let me just indicate, did you drive here?
No,
Who drove?
a friend.
You didn't drive here.
No,
And which friend drove you here?
that's not related to my case.
Mr. Mead, if I may, Your Honor. So
Sure.
we talked about
Mhm,
the questions the court may ask,
mhm.
all right? Is that yes?
Yes,
So understand, it, as a condition of your bond, the judge wants to make sure you're following all the court's orders, as one of them being not to operate a vehicle if you don't have a valid license.
but I have a valid license.
You may have a valid license, but you are still not permitted to operate a motor vehicle if you're under the influence of marijuana. That is
I
my
am not
question.
currently under the influence of marijuana. I've been here for like 5 hours.
I understand that. I understand that's what you already indicated to your attorney,
Okay,
but you got here at 7 a.m.?
at 9,
Okay, so that's 3.
it feels like a lot longer. but
Okay.
I'll take that.
I'm,
Yeah, it probably feels like a lot longer because I bet time feels like it was going slower because you're blazed. Not that I have a problem with that. Frankly, I do not. I am pro 420, but not just before driving.
I can understand that, sir, and we had a case that took quite a bit of time that was not expected to take. So I apologize for your wait today.
Thank you.
But I'm also going to indicate that if you use marijuana, you cannot get into a vehicle and drive.
For how long?
Well, as long as you are under the influence of marijuana.
Okay, I understand that, and I'm not under the influence of marijuana.
Okay, but I also don't appreciate you lying to this court and telling me that you did not drive here.
Did you see me drive here?
Well, it's a bit late to try to use that card now when you just told her you drove
I'm
here.
not sure why we're just so hung up on this.
Because it's a condition of your bond.
Because I have a duty to protect the public, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you're using marijuana and then driving,
I am not.
I have a duty to explain to you and reiterate to you the law that says you cannot use marijuana and then drive.
I fully understand that, ma'am.
So I do not appreciate the disrespect that you are showing this court.
There is no disrespect, ma'am.
What kind of car do you drive, sir?
I drive an Escape.
And what color is your Escape?
It's white.
And is that out in the parking lot?
Yeah.
Okay, so as I suspected, you did drive here. So I do not appreciate being dishonest to the court.
Okay. But I'm also not under the influence of marijuana, which is what you seem to be so hung up on.
Yeah, when she does that face, you're probably doing something wrong. Not the way to talk to this judge.
Sir, as I indicated, I have a duty to protect the public.
I understand that.
If you think that this court is hung up on the fact that you used marijuana and drove, you're correct.
Mhm.
That's a problem. That's illegal.
Right, but you don't
So,
even know the time
excuse
frame
me.
it's taken to-
Excuse me, don't interrupt me.
I'm just gonna remain silent.
I am hung up on making sure you understand the law that says you cannot consume marijuana, be under the influence of marijuana, and then drive a vehicle.
For how long?
Just as though you cannot consume alcohol, be under the influence of alcohol, and it affects your ability to operate a motor vehicle.
Right.
How long is determined based on individuals, based on consumption. I don't know how long, sir. I cannot give you a time frame. I'm just telling you that you cannot use marijuana, be under the influence of marijuana and then drive a vehicle.
Absolutely, that sounds horribly irresponsible.
So if you think this court's hung up on it, you're correct. I need to make sure that you understand that.
Oh, I'm well aware. You've made it clear. Thank you.
The court's going to indicate a $5,000 personal bond not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs unless prescribed. And you're not to have any assaultive, threatening, harassing contact with the other co-defendants.
Wonderful. He has no reason to have contact with them, Your Honor, but I may have to share contact with Mr. Shemke through his clients. The court's permitting that, of course.
That's correct.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you back on May 31st. The court's going to go off the record, so counsel, I can make sure that we have a third attorney here on that matter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So there we have it, lads and lassies. This guy was without a doubt one of the most painful people I saw yesterday. But by God, did he pick the wrong judge to do it to? You know, she's no nonsense. He's actually very lucky he didn't get done for perjury or get a contempt of court charge tacked on to everything else. Because lying to the judge, then admitting it, and when she questions him about it, talking back to her like that, not a good idea. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed the video. There's a good chance that this video will be demonetized because of the subject matter. If it is, consider dropping a like, comment, share, or tip into the PayPal tip jar, become a member, whatever. Talk to you soon, folks. Sláinte.
What the hell are you doing? Really? What's it gonna take? Put you in a hospital? Lose a kidney? Put a colostomy bag or colostomy bag on you so you can't even crap out of your own. Do you know how many gods people have sworn to in front of me here? Allah, Shiva, I mean, you name it, I've heard it all. Positive THC.
I haven't been smoking. I promise. I haven't been doing no drugs at all. I ain't did nothing.
I don't believe you.
I got a job working landscape. I ain't did nothing. I'm staying clean.
There's no false positive for marijuana, Mr. Rogers. Hold on a second.
Just a day.
Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
He says he was negative yesterday and
It was positive Friday, negative yesterday, and positive again today.
That sounds like.
I haven't did no drugs. I swear to God. I haven't did anything. I'm staying clean.
Do you know how many gods people have sworn to in front of me here? Allah, Shiva, I mean, you name it, I've heard it all. All I asked you to do was not smoke weed. There is no false positive for marijuana. You either do it or you don't.
I did it though. That's what I'm saying. How I come clean yesterday and come positive today? I didn't do it.
You were negative Friday too, or you were positive Friday.
And it was a little bit. And I didn't do, I promised to God, I haven't been on.
It's either positive or negative. There's no little bit. Ms. Johnson, it goes with you.
Hi, Judge Mayor.
Hi, have a beautiful time.
Guys, keep it down, please. Hey, it's a 2 week, they got the contract today on Dan's case. What are you doing with your life now, Mr. Rogers?
Landscape.
Who with?
My cousin, my brother. My brother have the company.
You landscape.
Yes, sir, every day. Mr. Slaughter got.
Did you graduate from high school?
Yes, sir. I got a high school diploma. I graduated.
Is this what you see yourself doing for the next 30 years, landscaping?
It's fun. I like it. I like landscaping.
You like making $20 cutting a yard?
Not 20. I mulch. I don't just cut grass. I do gutters. I landscape. I fish gardens.
So all these cases here, is this just to supplement your income then? All these BMVs, all these other, the theft cases, is all this stuff is just to supplement your income? Is that what you're doing then? Because you're not making enough? It's a rhetorical question, Mr. Rogers. It's not one for you to answer. But my concern is that since 2021, theft, DWI, felony evading, and now you have 2 burglary of motor vehicles.
Excuse me, I have,
I know that a lot of them have been dismissed. But the fact remains is that anytime you look for a job, they're still going to see all of this. What do you think they're going to say? A potential job, what do you think they're going to think when they see all this? When you try to rent an apartment, they're going to see all this. Where do you live now? Right. You're not going to live with your grandmother forever. At some point, you're going to have to move out. You're going to have to put in an application for either an apartment. Well, it's got to be an apartment because you're not going to buy a house cutting grass. What do you think an apartment's going to do when they see all this? Even dismissed. And the worst part about it is because this is now a second burglary of a motor vehicle, that offer to get it dismissed don't happen again. And I'm going to tell you that when potential employers look up a burglary, that's worse than a theft. Because to them, that means you rob someone. Do you think anyone in their right mind is going to want someone like that working for them? I wouldn't. Slider wouldn't. It'd be a fool errand because we know, given the opportunity, someone's going to yank it from us. Someone's going to take it. Someone's going to. So the question is, and Mr. Slider, I'm at a loss too, because, I was thinking about this last night. Where do we go from here? Really? You just don't get it. And the thing is perhaps Pavel has just been too nice because all these other cases against you, except for one, has been dismissed. Has that enabled you? Meaning, has it said, well, man, all these other things get dismissed, man. I guess nothing's going to happen to me. I can do.
something like this, sir.
Actions speak louder than words, Mr. Rogers. You telling me something, this goes in this ear, goes right up that ear. Is this the BMV where someone got shot?
Yes, Judge, it wasn't him, but yeah, someone got shot.
Someone got shot in this BMV by a shotgun. Luckily, they weren't killed. Pavel, where do we go from here, man? How do we impart this knowledge to Mr. Rogers? That
Well, Judge,
what do we do?
because he's charged, I can't really evaluate him, so I offer to defer to the TRS or the alternative, the time served. He has sat-termed a deferred in the past, but maybe he would need something like that. But I always offer in the alternative of time served, just because I know some people have.
You know what? That's a good idea. The TRAS.
The TRS?
Yeah. I think that's probably the best thing. Let's do an evaluation to see what they say is the most appropriate course of action. But theft, DWI, BMV, felony evading. Either you're going to get shot and killed, or you're going to end up with a 30-year sentence. You say no, but one of your crew got shot. You can run and you can do it. But at some point, it's going to catch up to you, Mr. Rogers. I'm trying to impart this to you before that happens. I was young and I was an a-hole too. Luckily, I had someone pull me aside and go, hey man, what the hell are you doing? Before it got too late for me. We all make mistakes. The idea of a father or a father figure like Mr. Sliders to hit you into place when you start veering off the line so that you can start getting the straight. Because you veer too far off your host. And with your record, you're already off the line right here. If you don't believe me, ask him.
He's already been shot. He got shot after this case.
He did.
How did you get shot? Where'd you get shot?
At a party with like my friends and all my cousins. They had a get together at my house, and somebody just came by just running to shoot me. They just shot. I was standing outside and they shot me in my leg.
When you hang with dogs, you get fleas, man. I'm telling you. You're lucky you're alive. This is two times within the last 6 months you either been shot at or you were shot. Really? What's it gonna take? Put you in a hospital? Lose a kidney? Put a colostomy bag on you so you can't even crap out of your own. So, Shatoria, if we can get a TRAS done, I'm gonna tell you now, once again, I'm going to drug test you 30 days from today. You test positive again, I'm gonna quadruple your bond this time. At some point, someone's gonna stop playing this game and bonding you out. Yeah, let's do it today. And then, I don't know, we'll come back in a week and let's see what it says.
Sounds good, Judge.
Tracy. Same bond conditions, curfew, 9 p.m., 6 a.m., no dope, no alcohol, no contact with any of the co-defendants in the same jazz.
I just happened already signed this. You don't want to add anything.
No, yeah. Don't fail me again, Mr. Rogers.
We have an old saying in Ireland, "Is minnig brush bail dinna a hrone," which means it's many a man's mouth broke his nose. But in this case, it's many a man's mouth got his ass locked up. Now this fella was about to be put off for a little while, but then he spoke too soon and he spoke in the wrong way and the judge was having none of it. Now as you know, disrespect in the court does not stand with a lot of these judges. In fact, most of them. Least of all with Judge Simpson. But in the second clip, he's able to have a bit of a laugh with a guy who doesn't really know what to call him. Now I remember telling a fella before that he has to call the magistrate Your Majesty. And needless to say, that got a few laughs. Now it's all fun and games until the prosecutor pipes up, shows that he is really not happy with this guy's situation. And it gets a little bit heated, so you're definitely going to want to stay tuned for that. Anyway, on to the first clip.
Counsel, we have Michael Sanzoni. Nimish Ganatra for the people.
And what are we doing today, Jen? Where's your client?
Mr. Sanzoni, are you there?
Hello. Yes, sir. State your name, sir. Michael Anthony Sanzoni. All right. What are we doing on this case?
Yeah, there was some discovery previously that needed to be obtained. It was a video. Prosecution provided me a copy of it. They have as well a copy of it. I reached out to them this morning. Apparently, the prosecutor signing the file has not had the opportunity to review the video, which could be dispositive in nature. So I guess we need one more.
So what do you want? An adjournment so that they can look?
Yes.
Guys, just tell me what you want me to do.
Yeah, adjourn it, Your Honor, please. Yeah. No objection.
Dismiss it.
Oh yeah, that's definitely gonna happen.
This is silly. This is so silly.
Sir, Mr. Sanzoni.
Sir.
I don't want to hear anything.
Oh, you weren't saying anything. That's funny because I thought you were saying that thing. Or a couple of things over the judge. Shall we review the tape, ladies and gentlemen of the jury?
This is silly.
Yeah,
this is so silly.
And with that, I find that you were saying a thing.
Mr. Sanzoni, please don't talk at all.
I wasn't. I apologize.
Sorry to interrupt again so soon, but why would you apologize if you didn't?
July 27th, 2023, 9 a.m. or as your Zoom invite indicates. And counsel, I'm presuming between now and then you'll check your client because otherwise I'll do what I got to do. I have four kids and run a roofing crew, sir. This is out of control. You know what? Yeah, does he really want to keep talking to me? Because I'm
No,
gonna,
Your Honor. No, Your Honor.
we
I'll have a
don't-
conversation with Mr.
Tell your
Simpson.
client his bond's revoked. I want him to report to the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. this evening.
Your Honor.
He does not disrespect the court in that fashion. That will never happen. Defendant's bond in this case is revoked. He should report to the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. this evening.
I don't know what you're smiling at, creepy sideburn boy. You won't be far behind him if you keep going the way you're going. Mind you, people like you get a special cell, don't they?
Failure to report will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
Can we have this hearing set for next week then?
If he reports.
I mean, the prosecution's
But
had
he
enough
better-
time to really review this video, and it's dispositive in nature. I mean, it's very. I think
Your
my
client is
just-
disrespectful to this court. I'm not having it. I've revoked his bond. I want him to report. Then we'll move the hearing.
And you have it scheduled right now for the 27th, you said. Do I need to contact the court after he reports?
They'll let me know whether he's here or not, because we're gonna have to issue a bench warrant or not.
Your mouth can really get you in trouble. And it seems from what they were saying about how this video would show him in a decent light, that maybe he wouldn't get in trouble in the long run. But way to go, bud, now you are. Now this next clip starts off a little bit lighter, but it nosedives towards the end. So again, you're definitely going to want to stick around for this one. Also, there's a lot of really weird stuff going on in the background of other people's screens over here. One guy is, I think he's doing a YouTube cooking channel. The other one seems to be waving to people in the side chat of Judge Simpson's live stream, because when people would comment something, she'd react and wave back. And a lot of people were talking about that in the side chat as well.
Torshell Feaster, Assistant Public Defender, standing in place of Mr. Ward. Mr. Vasher, please state your name for the record.
My name is Thomas Vasher.
Thank you. And I have 3 cases for Mr. Vasher. And I'm not sure what we're doing on any of the 3.
Well, thank you, Judge. Obviously, I am not either. If the court would give me just 1 second, please, Judge, I apologize.
Your Honor, Andrew Bann, Assistant Public Defender, just Mr. Ward.
We got 4 of you?
Well, we don't have the
Go
one
ahead.
who's needed at the moment. Mr. Ward just stepped out of the office. He and I are sharing an office at the moment. I'm not sure if he's covering an exam or what, but I can find him. We're both at the courthouse.
Your Honor,
Yeah,
Your Honor, I understand their situation. Mr. Vasher has a more recent case that was authorized that's on the PCC for today. We've been talking about a global plea. So I expect that Mr. Ward was wanting to adjourn it to give more time for us to negotiate.
No, we did. We talked yesterday and we weren't going to adjourn. We was actually trying to work with a decision because I was sentenced to a year in Washtenaw County Jail already on the one case.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. I'm sorry, go ahead, Mr. Vasher.
I was sentenced to a year in Washtenaw County Jail with time for 330 days, credited time served, with release to treatment, with release to sober living for 6 months, with release to probation for 6 months, and continued after that. I got a personal bond on the case that popped up last time when I was in front of Simpson, and he said he wanted to wait to see what they were
Judge
gonna do
Simpson,
with
but
that.
go ahead.
Yes, sorry, Judge. I think I understand where we are. Thank you, Mr. Ganasher, and thank you, Mr. Vasher. Judge, based on that information from both Mr. Ganasher and Mr. Vasher, I would ask the court to adjourn this matter, but I'd ask the court to consider amending Mr. Vasher's bond so that he could be released to treatment, Your Honor.
Yes, please. That's what we were trying to do. So I could go to treatment. I got a house payment. I'm 2 months behind on rent. I'm going crazy.
I think you're already gone crazy. Wish.com, Marilyn Manson.
I understand.
I just 2 weeks into my 5-year-old son's life I never met before, and I'm just starting to grow as a human. I mean, honestly.
You done?
I think so, Judge. And Judge
So-
Simpson, not just Simpson, Judge Simpson. He's sorry about that.
I do need to be. I do have to have him have it and him say it that I can be released to treatment or I can't go.
Him being the Honorable Judge Simpson. Yes.
Yes, Your Honorable Judge Simpson, please.
And a pronoun name, I don't get a title. That's all right. Go ahead. I'm good. Is he done yet?
I think so, Judge.
So,
Your Honor, I apologize, Zachary Ward. I was
oh,
at the
so
podium.
now you show up. Go ahead.
Your Honor, I was at the podium before Judge Perry. I apologize so much, Your Honor.
All right, well, so what are we doing? You're now my third public defender on this case. Well, and that doesn't include Basher, so go ahead. Okay, so now you muted yourself and you're talking to me.
You're muted, Zach.
Your Honor, we'd be requesting all three matters set for preliminary exam.
Oh, so you want all these set for preliminary exam?
Yes, and I would love to address bond if the court will.
Well, okay, everybody else has, but see, so I'll set them for preliminary examination. July 18th, 2023, 9 a.m. That's before Judge Barr. Now, my understanding, before you go into a long explanation regarding bond, since we've heard from Basher, what my understanding is, you just wanted the ability to have him released on a PR to treatment.
Yes, Your Honor, and we addressed bond at the previous PCC, and I informed the
I
court
remember
about all of Mr. Vasher's ties to the community. So I would reiterate those, as well as advise the court that we were trying to get Mr. Vasher into drug court, which the people aren't in agreement with, but he is very motivated for treatment. So that's the request for the release to treatment.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to continue his bond on all of these matters. Submit to me a written order, because I've got 3 cases here to make sure that we've got them all covered so he can be released. I think that's the cleanest way to do it.
So is that removing the $10,000 hold and releasing me to treatment?
Oh, are you asking me?
Yes.
My understanding is you wanted that you would be released on a PR to treatment.
Okay, yes, from you.
Oh, yeah.
The Honorable Judge
The only thing holding me up.
I don't know who else is gonna do it.
Your Honorable Judge Simpson is the $10,000 bond with you.
Now, so you didn't give me time before, now they me all of them. All right, so look, Mr. Basher.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your attorney and all the attorneys that represented you today know exactly what I ordered.
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
I just need a written order. They will get that to me, and then we'll be done.
Yes, Your Honor. Honorable Judge.
Anything else?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And have a
Your Honor, I just want to say one thing.
Now, Judge Simpson might not be ready to put the old hammer down on this fella, but Mr. Ganatra really is. And he lets it be known to the court how he feels about this lad and all of the stuff that he's trying to get given to him.
It's going to be a long docket. There's a lot of demands that come from the requests from attorneys on every file. And there are these requests for felony drug court. And when you have violent offenders, people with violent offense convictions on their record, they're not going to be a good fit for that treatment court. Right? And this is the perfect example. This man right here is a perfect example. He's not getting into that clunky drug court. And if the PD wants to set this for exam, that's fine. On 3 separate cases, we're going to be bringing witnesses in, police officers in. And if they don't want to go negotiate at that point, that's fine. I can respect that. But every time we set these cases for exam, we're bringing in people from work, from their shift, and then the conversation, I don't know if they want to continue it or not, but I'm just letting them know.
So, all right. Because I was going to ask, but I thought the parties had talked about this, and I apologize, Mr. As to with this modification in bond, we're having these set for exam. Is that right, Mr. Ward?
That's correct, Your Honor. My understanding is that Mr. Vasher is not open to any resolution other than drug court. I advised him of the people's position, which is why.
Okay, so that, hold on. No, now I understand how we got here. So here's what I'm going to do. All of these will be set for preliminary examination as indicated on July 18th, 2023 at 9. Okay. As to the order regarding the bond, I'm only signing it if it is stipulated to. Pardon?
What is the stipulations?
Well, you might want to talk to your attorney about that. I've made it very clear what I'm doing. Thank you, Mr. Vasher.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, I'd be one of the first people to say that I think these drug courts and those treatment programs are absolutely vital. I've seen so many success stories both here in the US and in Australia of people who have done those and have done really, really well in their life thereafter. But it is definitely not for everybody. Now, maybe this guy genuinely wants to make a change. I don't know. But it seems like his history would indicate otherwise. And I think that's why Mr. Ganacha was getting so angry, because it puts a lot of strain on the courts to do these things, and then people fail. Then you have to have more hearings. It costs more money and time. There's only so many people that can go through those courts at any given time, so it could be taking a space from somebody who really needs it. But let me know what you think down below. Anyway, lads and lassies, thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure and give it a big thumbs up, and we'll catch you in the next one. Sláinte.
All
Can I
right.
get a Zoom next time? I need a Zoom because I'm working.
Put her in for a Zoom, please. Yes, ma'am. We'll see.
Happy New Year, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye. We'll see you.
Hey guys, so usually I will be on screen for a lot of these videos, as you guys know, but currently I'm in bed, not feeling too great at the moment, but hopefully I'll be back up and running very, very soon. I really hope you enjoy this video of this little manlet basically blaming everybody and not willing to take responsibility for himself and his own future. Anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, make sure and hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And you can support the channel down below. We have the PayPal tip jar down there and a few other options. Thank you so much, and we'll catch up with you soon. Sláinte.
A consent order in front of you, drafted by Joshua Fink, executed by Mr. Groden. He asked me if he could address the court.
Yes, sir.
Hi, Your Honor. So I signed a conditional dismissal to vacate my parents' house by the end of January. I just wanted to write you a letter. I'd like to kind of make the case to you.
All right, you'll have to speak up, but go ahead.
I've had a difficult relationship with my parents for a long time. People can influence others to various degrees, especially within a parent-child dynamic. I once had a supportive dynamic with my mother before we moved, and she started to struggle with serious depression in and out of inpatient for most of my high school years. Once my mom was depressed, my dad took over. My dad is extremely dominant person. It could be quite aggressive. He set a dynamic up of intimidation and dominance, emotional violence, and extreme emotional abuse and control. I do believe that this sort of behavior precipitated my mother's serious depressive episode. I immediately started struggling with anxiety and depression and underperformed in school. Prior to that, I was an exceptional student. I believed he abused his position of power over me and took advantage of my vulnerability during that period and exerted a damaging degree of control over me that was emotionally abusive. I had a serious relationship during college that helped me realize the negative influence that this has had in my life path. I've been at the house after graduation to try to rebuild my life in a different direction. I've dealt with torment on a daily basis, threats of eviction without process, attempts to skirt the law in order to throw me out, including him assaulting me. Now, I understand there isn't much legal precedent for my side of these types of cases, but I can't see how I can get away with this. I'm trying to rebuild my life, staying at the house while I do so. I sought legal counsel, but I largely don't have a legal basis to fight this eviction. The two lawyers I found willing to represent me, I can't afford. I've asked my parents to consider mediation. They've dug in and accused my framework of being evidence of mental illness with no diagnosis. Obviously, it's difficult to ask people in power to recognize their faults. I've sought out different legal representation, but especially given the holidays, it's been solidifying an attorney. To be clear, I don't have a diagnosis besides a degree of anxiety, mostly from the situation. I've also proposed paying rent, which they've rejected. This is really nothing more than a power play consistent with our dynamic. My parents have agreed to a conditional dismissal if I leave by the end of January, but given the perspective outlined above, I really don't believe this is fair. I hope you may consider granting me an adjournment so I can continue to try to build a case and seek mediation and come to an agreement with my parents.
Let me just stop you there.
Yeah.
Do you not want me to enter this conditional order of dismissal? I mean, you signed it, correct?
I did, Your Honor. I understand the ramification of an eviction on my record, and it wasn't clear to me if I could be able to make a case today.
Say that again?
I wasn't sure if I'd be able to make a case today, and I understand the ramifications of eviction on my record.
Hold it. Yeah, man. You signed this today.
Yeah, yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, he both signed it here today and he emailed a signed copy to our office before I showed up with that hard copy. And I'll also just point out to the court and Mr. Groden, and I don't care whether he makes a statement, but there is no triable issue. He was given a notice to quit. The time period has passed. He has no lease. He has no right to possession. And actually the notice to quit was just done as a precaution. So there's no triable issue. The alternative would be 10 days.
What do you want me to do?
I'd like a judgment to try to, I don't know if this is possible, I'd like to try to seek mediation.
Okay, but you don't have a lease at the premises, correct?
Just a month-by-month tenancy lease.
Okay. You're given notice to move.
Yes.
What would then happen is that's the alternatives. There are a few alternatives here. One, there could be a judgment entered. One, I could set it for trial if there's something for me to try even. Or the alternative is a conditional order of dismissal. All right. If you want to hold a trial on it, then I have to make an assessment as to whether or not there's even anything that I could try, anything that I would have to make a finding on. Okay. So everything that you just said to me about your relationship with your parents and all of that, let's assume we went to trial and I found all of that to be true. And again, just assuming that to be the case, because I don't know. But if I listen to all the testimony and I make a finding that everything you're saying is true, I still would grant them a judgment on this issue of possession because it doesn't relate to your tenancy. It may relate to your family dynamic. I don't have any doubt about that, but it doesn't relate to the tenancy here. Now, just so that you fully understand, if I make that determination, because right now I see nothing that I could try, nothing that you could call witnesses on that's going to make a bit of difference as to the possession issue. So right now, as we are sitting here today, what you have is I would make the finding in accordance with law that there's no tribal issue. I'd issue a judgment. If I issued that judgment, number one, you'd have a judgment on your record. Number two, it would be 10 days. But because of the holiday, you get to the 16th. The conditional order dismissal, which it seems to me that you had notice of, send it back to them. It comes in here, you sign it again, gives you to the 31st.
Understood.
So you need, if you don't want me to sign this conditional order dismissal, I won't sign it. But you need to tell me what you want me to do. I can make a finding right now on this case. Or I can sign this conditional order dismissal if that's what you want me to do. I'm leaving it to you. What do you want me to do?
Can I ask a follow-up? Is there any case on a basis of torts law, damage done to me by the parent-child dynamic?
Say that last part?
Would there be any basis for a case through torts or personal injury case as it relates to this eviction? Eviction being damages for
What personal injury?
I mean, obviously, the missed opportunity certainly as a result of the dynamic, the mental health issues mostly in high school as a result of the dynamic.
Okay, young man, look. If you're looking to use this case either to receive some type of compensation or something regarding how you perceive your parents may have treated you, or to somehow believe that this court has some power to rectify all of that in some way, that can't happen here.
We'll go with the conditional dismissal. That's okay.
Pardon?
I'll accept the conditional dismissal.
You understand that the terms of the conditional dismissal are that you would vacate the premises by January 31st.
Yes.
And that you would not, if you haven't vacated the premises by that date, that they could seek an order without notice. They could seek the entry of a judgment and an order of eviction to have you removed from the premises.
Yes.
You understand that? All right. And you also understand your rights to 3-day rescission that was explained to you and is contained in here. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Do you have any questions whatsoever regarding anything contained in this conditional order to dismiss?
No.
This file is conditionally dismissed. You can stop out at the front counter and pick up a copy. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor, because of your stupid ass state of Kansas.
Okay, you've just been found in contempt of court. Appear, we need a bench warrant for his failure to appear today for failing to come to court.
Hey everybody, the Irish Demon here, back with another video. We got this guy over here, old Danny Boy, and he decides to do arguably the worst possible thing that you can do in court, and that is to swear at the judge. Not only that, but he also rage quits and gets himself a bench warrant. Now, I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking in this one. I just want you to sit back, relax, maybe get yourself a cup of coffee, specifically in an Irish Demon coffee mug, which you can find linked down below. Shameful plug. And as I said before, there's a good chance that this video will be demonetized, but we'll catch up about that here in a little bit.
Daniel Lyman, are you here?
Yes, Your Honor.
You still don't have counsel, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, let's take up your case.
I know today is my possession of marijuana on the payer appear and
Okay,
everything.
well, let me call that case number. We're on the record now in 2021 CR 274, State of Kansas versus Daniel Lynn Lyman Jr. The state appearing by and through Jared Regier, and the defendant in person and pro se. We have had a situation where you are supposed to pay November 28th of 2022. You did indicate you wanted to represent yourself without counsel and waived counsel on record. And you had been on diversion. You got another charge of driving while suspended. You ended up, it looks like, getting your diversion revoked, being found guilty at trial, sentenced, and you were supposed to have your case paid by today, February 6th. Now, what were you saying, sir?
The reason why I haven't had it paid yet is because the job that I was supposed to go for at American Eagle in Ottawa, it didn't plan out as planned. So I'm working at a motel over here in El Dorado.
Okay.
And it's just not bringing in as much money as it should. and I get paid twice a month. I have a lot of bills to pay plus my court fines. I'm not trying to miss any of my court fines. I'm not trying to do any of that. I'm trying to pay everything that I can at once. I was just going to ask you if I can start paying maybe between $20 and $50 a month. And my first payment I can put on this one is on the 8th of this month, guaranteed.
Well, you've always been allowed to make payments as long as you had it paid in full by your payer up here date, i.e. today. So, now remind me, are you married or single?
I am single.
And remind me if you have children you support.
Right now I have a stepchild that I support.
Now you're single, but you have a stepchild that you support.
Yes, because I am in a relationship. I'm not married or anything. I'm in a relationship, but I support me, my fiance, and our child right now.
Well,
Because
I don't know why you're supporting these, but why you've taken on new obligations when you haven't taken care of your old ones, such as paying your case. You owe, sir, $658.
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
And you have not made any payments since November?
No, ma'am. I've barely been working. Like I said, I have this job and everything. I've been paying my bills and everything because I do have rent to pay. I have my phone bill. I have my SR22 insurance that I'm trying to pay, so that way I can also get my license back. I have my fines to pay. I have a lot of stuff to pay right now, honestly, and I'm just not trying to go to jail over all this.
Well, I was going to say, I was going to ask you if you thought it'd be easier just to go serve the 90 days in jail and send these costs to civil collections. Do you want to do that?
I don't, because it just messed everything up. Because I still have my Lyon County court case for my 2021 case back then when I had that case that I'm still trying to pay on as well.
What do you have going on in Lyon County?
I got it before this possession of marijuana case. It was a duty of driver / no DL at the time. And they dropped the duty of driver down to a no DL, and I'm just having to pay on that of $377 as well.
So you had a car wreck?
Yes, ma'am.
Without insurance?
No, it was with insurance. It was with insurance.
Okay, and you didn't report it to law enforcement and they found out about it?
Yes, ma'am. It was my fault. I take all.
When did you do that?
That was in 2021, almost 2 years ago.
This case was in 2021, June of 2021. When was your Lyon County?
It was after I got served papers when I was on house arrest in Lyon County. Because I had completed my house arrest and I was on house arrest when I got into the wreck. I didn't report it. I got in trouble. I got a ticket.
How were you on house arrest and driving at the same time? House arrest means jail.
House arrest, I was going to work and back, and I ended up getting in a wreck.
Okay, so they gave you work release from your house arrest?
Yes, ma'am.
And on your way to or from, you had a wreck, and then you didn't report it.
And I failed to report it.
Well, okay. Well, I just kind of wanted an idea of what was going on over there. Have you paid anything on that case?
I've been slowly paying on it and everything. I try to make $10 payments. If I can't make it, I call them and let them know, and they told me just to pay it next month and everything. So I have owed $377. I've only paid $20 on their case so far too.
Well, how come they've gotten $20 and I haven't gotten anything?
I apologize. Like I said, I'm trying to pay everything all at once, and it's just all adding up on me. And I really don't want to go to jail over all this. I want to try to get it all paid. I know I'm not being very good at it right now, but I do apologize with everything I have, and I'm my first payment I can make.
Hang on. And you were on house arrest and you got served with papers for possessing marijuanas in another county.
Ah, yes. He got arrested for possessing marijuanas. Can you imagine going into a dispensary? Can I get 3 marijuanas, please? Well, it's your lucky day, sir, because it's buy 3 marijuanas, get 1 extra marijuana free.
Is that what you told me?
Yes, because originally, back in 21, if you can let me just start over real quick, I got pulled over in the state of Kansas and in Butler County area, and I had my warrants active for Lyon County and Butler County at the time. I ended up serving my 7 days in Butler County for the city court. They transferred me over to Butler County or Lyon County after I got stopped for my possession of marijuana. And that's how I got my possession of marijuana. They did not take me to jail over my possession of marijuana. They charged me for my warrants, took me to jail over them. I served my time in Butler and Lyon County jail, got out on house arrest. By the time I got out on house arrest, I was served my marijuana papers. I got diversion for those. I completed my house arrest, got off, and now I just been fighting my duty of driver / no driver's license over there, been trying to pay that off. Then I got another one through you guys for the no driver's license back in July and everything. And I just been trying to pay all 3 of these tickets off and paying my rent, my phone bill, my SR22 insurance to get my license back. I'm trying it all, and got a ticket. And I just feel like this is unfair on me. Just because I can't pay a fine.
Okay, sir, I understood you to say you drove in Lyon County, and you wrecked and didn't report it. So there, you drove that day, right?
Yes, and that was my fault. But in
And
the
then I
meantime,
understood that you drove in Butler County and after this case.
Yes,
after
ma'am.
the marijuana case.
All
So
these
1
driving-
+ 1 = 2, Mr. Lyon. So you've driven at least twice illegally in Kansas.
Yes, ma'am, I have, but that is because I have to go to work and back. How am I supposed to go to work and back while I'm trying to get my license without anyone offering me to give rides? I'm not trying to walk out of town. If I live in Leon, Kansas with my parents at the time, how am I supposed to get back and forth to work if they can't give me rides and I'm the only one with the vehicle, but they don't want to wake up to give me rides and I have to go to work to go pay my stuff? How is this all fair with me? Because people won't give me rides. I can't drive and stuff like that. Yes, I live in El Dorado now and I walk to my workplace.
It's called being an adult, bro. Maybe if you didn't get into so much trouble with your driving, you'd be able to get back on the road legally and you wouldn't have this problem. I get it, it's not easy, but nobody cares. Work harder.
And everything, but
Where do you work in El Dorado now?
I work at motels, the Motel
Okay,
6,
you told me that. And where do you live?
Silverwood Apartments.
Okay, so that's not too far from where you work.
No, ma'am. And that's why I said I walk now. I don't drive. I'm trying everything that I can. Right now I feel like everything is gathering up on me and I can't have a chance to do anything because I'm trying to get my life together. I promise you, I'm not trying to drive. I'm not trying to get in trouble.
Stop. Okay, you said you haven't been given a break. It looks like you were put on the deferred disposition docket, which means you were what, given diversion in this case initially?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you didn't comply with it. That was a break. If you'd done what you were supposed to, the charges would have been dismissed and kept off your record. So wasn't that a break? And you didn't comply with it, so you got that revoked. And then you were sentenced and given terms. I let you pick when you were going to pay this off, and you picked today. And then you didn't comply with that. I didn't have to give you probation when I sentenced you. Probation is a privilege. It's not a right. So that was a break. I didn't put you in jail, right? That's 2 breaks right here in this case.
Yes,
So,
Your Honor, you are correct.
And if I transfer you to reporting probation, that's still a break, and that's a 3rd break. So I really don't think you have any grounds to sit here and say, poor me, Kansas is too mean to me.
It is. It really is. If I had a choice, I would move out of Kansas right now and I would never
How
come
can you say it's mean to you and we're giving you all these breaks and you won't quit violating the law?
I've been trying to stay out of trouble. I got in trouble once this year for driving, and I was trying to drive home from work.
For this year, you've already gotten in trouble in 2023?
Or not this year, 2022 is what I'm talking about.
Oh, poor you. So you keep getting into trouble, but it's absolutely everybody else's fault. So now when the chickens come home to roost, you won't take any accountability. Guess you better rage quit.
Sorry, I forgot it's 2023 now. But yes, in 2022, I only got in trouble once. I had not been in trouble ever since all my old cases. I only got in trouble that once in 2022 for driving back in July. I have not been.
We're not going to keep talking in circles here, and you're not going to convince
just
me.
Move out of state because I'm done. I'm done dealing with this. I'm moving out of state. I'm moving right now.
Yeah, this isn't that home with your mom where you're like, I'm done with this, I'm moving. No, you're not going anywhere. In fact, no, you're definitely not going anywhere because you're about to get yourself a bench warrant, aren't you?
Well, no, not unless you have court authority in all your cases to move out. You're not, because you're on probation.
You guys ain't coming to get me. I will move out of state.
I am transferring you to supervised probation, and you have 30 days to get this all paid. Call your probation officer this morning
I'm not doing any of it. I'm moving out of state. I'm packing my stuff up right now.
You're telling me you're not going to comply with my orders?
Fine, yes, I will. I will apply with your orders.
No. I am going to, where do you live?
Silverwood Apartments.
Silverwood Apartments in El Dorado. I am transferring your probation. You are to call the probation office. And you have 30 days to have this paid in full.
Or else I go to jail.
You either go to jail or you get your probation extended, whichever we decide to do. If you can show me you need more time to pay it, that you've made a good faith effort, I will certainly consider extending it, but you will be in violation of your probation and it'll either be extended or you'll get it revoked and go to jail, one or the other. Because
this is really, really stupid.
Because you have, as I understand it, Mr. Regier, he has violated the law since he was put on this probation in November. And if that is correct, that's a violation of his probation. I understood him to say he got a driving while suspended. Is that right, Mr. Lyman?
Yes, Your Honor, because of your stupid ass motherfucking state of Kansas.
Okay, you've just been found in contempt of court.
You know, I can do fucking less. Fuck you. I'm moving out of state.
All right, you are in contempt of court. You have now failed to appear. We need a bench warrant for his failure to appear today for failing to come to court. He's in contempt for his language, and we will deal with that at the next hearing, but please do a bench warrant as soon as possible, Mr. Regier, for his failure to come to leave court.
So there we have it, folks. We have this man-child over here who can't take any accountability for his own actions. It's everybody else's fault but his own. You heard him yourself complaining about the fact that he can't get himself out of trouble. So what does he do? Drop an F-bomb at the judge, get himself in even more trouble, and state that he's going to move out of state so that he doesn't face any of these issues. Me thinks that maybe everything's going to be revoked and you'll probably get your 90 days in jail. Well done. And then you also have that contempt charge on top of it. Well done. Anyway, folks, just to let you know, a lot of these kind of videos are getting demonetized at the moment because of some of the subject matter. So if you want to help this channel, make sure and hit that like button, comment and subscribe and all that stuff. Consider becoming a member or a Patreon or dropping a tip in the PayPal tip jar down below. Now, I'm giving away a box of Irish Demon merch and a few other bits from here in Ireland to one lucky winner every single month. And the way you can enter into that is for anybody who decides to make a donation through PayPal, every dollar would count as one entry. Also, the super thanks down below, the same rules apply. And if you don't have anything to contribute financially at the moment, then what I would ask you to do is leave a comment down below and let me know that you have shared this video. And if you do that, you'll also be in with a chance to win one of those boxes. Anyway, thank you so much, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll catch you in the next one.